Hi guys, welcome to another episode of AmeriCooking. Erica here in Boulder, Colorado at the Avery Craft Brewery. Next to me here is Matt Thrall. He's head brewer here at Avery. Matt, tell me, what is craft beer?
Craft beer is taking our standard beers that we see all over the world and just doing more with them. This isn't a regular light lager that you would have in any country in the world. We use a lot of all the same ingredients, but just more of them. So all the barley malts, the hops, the various different yeast strains. We try to cover every different region of the world's beer right here. Right now in-house we have 5 different yeast strains. Most breweries only have 1. Our goal is really to aim towards flavor and having a lot of variety. Not everybody likes the same food, not everybody likes the same beer. We want to offer a lot.
What is it you're drinking there?
This is Hog Heaven. It's an English style barley wine with an American twist, a lot of hops. And so what that means, it's a really big, kind of thick, a little chewier, malty, caramely, but there's a lot of bitterness in there from the hops and a lot of really floral notes.
Could you try to briefly explain what the brewing process is to make Hog Heaven?
Yes. So briefly, first off, the barley farmer grows barley, and then he delivers it to the maltster. Once it's at the maltster, it goes through a process where the maltster tricks the barley into thinking springtime is coming, gets it to germinate, and then kilns it. When he kilns the malt, he in effect locks the sugars inside of it. Brewers, our job is to extract those sugars back out in order to then feed yeast. And yeast, the old adage is they eat the sugars and then they make alcohol and CO2.
Yes.
And where hops come into play is they are the bittering agent. Barley juice, wort, if you will, is very sweet in nature. We need to balance that. So in order to make a drink not too sweet, have a nice balance, nice mouthfeel, add a lot of hops. The wort is over there. We'll boil for an hour. Okay. Over the course of that hour, we'll do 3 hop additions. The first hop addition is called bittering, the second one flavoring, and the last one aroma. The recipe's specific, but the standard is about 30 minutes apart. Okay. And so the longer you boil a hop, the more you isomerize the acids that are in it, and you create a bitterness. And so that's that balancing.
The first one coming in for as long as it creates the bitterness.
Right, and so it'll boil for an hour. You won't smell that hop, you won't taste that hop, all those volatiles are gone. You'll just get the bitterness. The second addition is kind of the middle of the road one, where you'll get some flavor, some aroma, and some bitterness. The last addition is added post-boil.
Just aroma.
And it's for aroma. After we add the hops in during the boiling process with the wort, we boil to sterilize it. Okay. When we inoculate, when we add our own yeast strain, we want one controlled yeast that does all the fermentation. Post-fermentation, the beer now needs to be cleaned up a little bit, so we actually centrifuge it, remove the yeast out, remove any of the whatever residual hop particulate, detritus that's in there, and then it goes into a bright tank, bright beer, clarified beer. We carbonate it, and then we package it into both bottles and draft format.
Whew, that was good.
It's been around for about 10,000 years, and to sum it up in a minute it's pretty
impressive.
tough. Yeah. There are some beers that we have our core offerings that are available year-round, but most of our beers are seasonal offerings, and that allows us to shift things up and play around. We also ship as far west as Japan and as far east as Sweden.
Well, maybe China next.
If there's Chinese drinkers out there, then bring them on.
I think there are. There you have it, a very brief introduction to American craft brewing and to Avery craft beer. So, cheers.
Cheers.